Hey, what's up everyone? Today we're going to be talking about the Lumix 70-300 4.5 to 5.6. Today it is a beautiful day in Austin and we are over at the Botanical Gardens at Zilker Park. So we're going to get some macro shots with this and we're also going to get some portraits today. That's the nice thing about this lens is it does double down as a telephoto lens, but it also offers some good macro capabilities. So the first thing I do want to talk about is its aperture. So at 70 millimeters, you are going to be open up to a 4.5 aperture. And then when you zoom all the way out to 300 millimeters, we're going to get a maximum aperture at 5.6. Now, if we are doing macro work and let's say we want to stop down all the way, the minimum aperture we're going to be able to stop down to is f22. Now, this lens, straight out the box, it does feel a little bit plastic, but that's not to worry because Lumix is saying that it does use metal construct inside and they're putting a lot of stuff on the elements as well. So we are going to get 17 elements in 11 groups, and our aperture is going to be 11 rounded blade diaphragm. So we should get some beautiful bokeh in the background when stopped down all the way. Well, when opened up all the way. Also, this lens, right out the box, when you put it in your hand paired with like a Lumix S1, it is kind of large. Now, if you're comparing this to other lenses, like let's say our Sony 70-300, it's comparable, but one thing to keep in mind, it is a little bit larger, and the reason for that is because this lens is also going to offer us weather sealing. So if you're going to be shooting out when it's raining, if you got freezing temperatures, if it's foggy, if you got a little mist going, very humid, doesn't matter, you're going to be able to rely on this bad boy and take it out and continue your shooting experience. This lens also offers O.I.S, so we do get dual axis stabilization in the lens, and Lumix is saying that this has up to 5.5 stops of correction. Now, I do want to talk about some of the external features. So this lens does have a lot of switches on the side for being a 70-300. So we do get our focus limiter on the very top. Now, if you're not too familiar with focus limiters, basically what this is offering is, so if I'm shooting something further away and I'm not doing macro work, well, I can tell the lens that, hey, at 3 meters is where I'm focusing and beyond. So it's just gonna make your autofocus system work more efficiently. We do get our autofocus manual focus switch. Our O.I.S button, it does have the on and off. One thing to note about this is that it does have little ridges on it. So you can actually tell without taking it away from your face while you're shooting to know if you want to turn that on and off. We have our lock button on the side, and basically what that's doing is, so over time you don't get lens creep. Now, this lens is pretty new, so if I hold it upside down, it's not going to creep out. But over an extended period of time, that barrel is going to loosen up. So when you do that, it's probably going to slip out. So it's nice to have that locking button for when you're packing it up and on the go. Our filter thread, one thing to keep in mind as well, as this is going to be a 77 millimeter filter thread. So it is a little bit larger, but this filter thread is still pretty common. So if you have any other high-end lenses, more than likely they're going to be using that filter thread size. So with a 70-300 millimeter lens, for you, seasoned veterans shooters out there, you might be thinking, well, 70-300 typically aren't, the most versatile, best optical lenses out there. Well, I'm sure this one is going to change your mind. This one does feel good in the hand, and I'm very confident that Lumix did put some top-notch glass inside this lens. This lens also offers a linear motor focusing drive, so it's sure to be silent and very fast. So that's some quick specs over this lens. I'm very excited to shoot with it. Like I mentioned earlier, we're at the Botanical Gardens. It's been a little bit since me and Todd have shot, or Todd and myself have shot here. If you saw the FX3 video, we're here with Valen today, so excited to get some portrait shots, get some more nature stuff, and then we're going to test the macro capabilities on some of these gorgeous flowers we have out here. So we're going to jump right into it. we just got finished shooting here at the Botanical Gardens with Valen, and now it's time for some final thoughts and what we overall thought of the 70-300. I gotta say right from the start, I was surprised, pleasantly surprised. So coming into the video, 70-300s, typically they're not the most exciting lenses to shoot with. They're typically, like to say like a step under your 70-200 in terms of optical quality. And then some of the entry-level APS-C cameras, they're just, like a kit lens. So I wasn't excited to shoot with this as much as, other products, but I was very pleasantly surprised. I've said it time and time again, I am a horrible macro photographer, and I don't know if I'm just getting better, everyone, or if this lens actually helped out, but I think the lens was helping out a bunch. The macro shots were gorgeous, and then doubling down, I was able to do some beautiful portraits. Now, this lens being a 4.5 to 5.6, myself included, you might see that as a negative in the beginning, but trust me, if you're gonna be using this for nature type stuff during the day, or if you're using it how I was using it today, doing portrait type work, when you're zoomed out to 300, you can completely annihilate the background. Now, like I mentioned earlier about the build quality, it did not feel as nice as some of the other Lumix lenses externally, but Lumix did put a lot of thought process into the optical formula and the optics they use inside of it, because it's definitely not their S-series grade glass. I don't think you're getting the same sharpness as those, but man, for the 70-300, I think it was plenty sharp. I think the auto-focusing system was as fast as it could be. There were some instances when Valen was kind of in the shaded area that it was missing focus, but I don't say that is the issue from the lens. I think it's just because that camera doesn't have the phase detection. But overall, I'm actually very pleased with this lens. If you shoot with the Lumix series cameras, I definitely think this would be one to consider picking up if you're looking to get a good macro lens as well as a really versatile telephoto lens. Now, are you gonna be able to do birding with this lens? Probably not. We're actually not able to put on teleconverters on the back end. But for every other type stuff like nature walks, instances where you can get closer to the subjects, and if you're out here at a botanical garden, this was perfect. I gotta admit, this was perfect for that case. Now, I do wanna talk about the pricing and availability. So this is expected to come out in the beginning of May 2021, and its price point is gonna retail for about $1,000 US at the time of this video. $1,000 might seem steep for a 70-300 if you're looking at other options on the market, but I think for the features that it hits, the capabilities, and the macro capabilities on this as well, I think that's honestly a fair price point to pay for something of this caliber. So let me know what you think down in the comments down below if you're gonna be picking one of these up. Remember, use the link down below to support precision camera and video. And always like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you on our next video.